I still remember the moment I first saw the Sahara. How it didn't rush toward me like landscapes usually do. How it didn't demand attention. It simply existed, vast, calm, endless. The horizon stretched in a quiet confidence, inviting me to step into it, to breathe, to pause, to notice. The air was warm, soft, welcoming, brushing against my skin with the gentlest of nudges. A reminder that this moment was mine to inhabit. The road beneath us shifted slowly from stone to dust, from dust to the first gentle dunes of sand. Each ripple glowed under the late afternoon sun. Each grain seemed alive, catching light as if the desert itself had been waiting for me. I rolled down the window, letting the warm wind brush my face. It carried a scent I could not name. Sunlit earth, soft stillness, endless possibility. And in that scent I felt my body relax, my mind soften, my heart expand with quiet anticipation. The desert didn't need me to hurry. It simply welcomed me to be present. I stepped out slowly, letting my feet sink into the soft sand, warm, velvety, and grounding. Each step became a meditation, a rhythm of presence. Step, breathe, step, breathe. The dunes stretched before me in golden waves, curving endlessly, flowing in a rhythm older than time itself. The wind carried the faint sound of movement across the sand. A whisper, a reminder of the subtle life that thrives here. I noticed tiny footprints of desert creatures, a beetle scuttling across the sand, leaving a delicate trail. A small lizard pausing, cautious, and then disappearing into a crevice. Every life here was quiet, resilient, persistent, teaching me that strength doesn't need to shout to exist. I paused and let the scene settle into me. Each ripple of sand, each gentle wave of light, each sigh of the wind reminded me that progress, calm, and clarity do not always announce themselves. Sometimes they exist quietly, waiting for us to notice, waiting for us to breathe, waiting for us to take the next intentional step. The sun began to dip toward the horizon. The desert responded. Golden light softened into warm orange, orange melted into delicate rose, and the sky above seemed to hold its breath. I climbed a smaller ridge, standing still, letting the full beauty wash over me. The curves of the dunes shimmered in the fading sunlight. Every ridge told a story. Every shadow danced gently across the sand. Step, pause, breathe. In that moment I realized, life doesn't always need to rush. Beauty doesn't always need to demand attention. Clarity doesn't always need a loud announcement. Sometimes the quietest moments are the ones that teach us the most. I let my eyes linger on the horizon. The fading sun reminded me that endings can be beautiful, that change can be gentle, that each day brings both closure and possibility. I felt my shoulders relax, my chest expand, my thoughts soften. The desert doesn't rush, and I didn't need to either. The sun disappeared completely, and the desert exhaled. Shadows deepened, sand cooled beneath my feet, and the first stars appeared, tiny brilliant sparks piercing the darkening sky. One by one they multiplied. The Milky Way stretched across the heavens like a river of light, and I felt an enormous sense of wonder. I lay down on the sand, letting it cradle me. The warmth of the day fading into a cool embrace. The stillness around me grounding every thought, every heartbeat, every breath. I realized then, life is bigger than our worries, bigger than our fears, yet entirely within our reach to experience joy, peace, and clarity. The stars continued to bloom, each one a point of possibility, each one a reminder that even in darkness, there is light. Even in silence, there is growth. Even in stillness, there is power. I breathed deeply, slowly, intentionally. With each breath, tension left my body. Doubt softened, my mind cleared, and I felt a quiet strength rising from within. I thought about life, how often we rush, how often we try to carry too much, how rarely we pause to notice the beauty right in front of us. The desert reminded me that patience is power, persistence is strength, presence is clarity. Step, breathe, pause, notice. Every step in the sand became a metaphor. The small efforts we make each day, the intentional choices, the quiet actions, they leave a mark. Maybe it fades, maybe it disappears, but it shapes the journey. It shapes us. I smiled at the realization that joy doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it moves in the quiet space between breaths. Sometimes it arrives when we simply show up, fully, and notice. The desert at midnight was extraordinary. A deep velvet blue wrapped around the dunes. Stars sparkled above like millions of tiny beacons, and the wind whispered softly across the sand. I walked slowly, every step deliberate, every movement intentional. Step, pause, breathe. The sand shifted gently beneath my feet. The air carried the memory of the sun's warmth, and the world felt infinite yet entirely within reach. I noticed subtle life. A scuttling fox in the distance, the quiet echo of insects moving, the delicate footprints of birds that had passed earlier. Every detail reminded me. Success, growth, and fulfillment are often subtle. They exist quietly, they move steadily, and they appear when we show up, pay attention, and persist. The desert teaches us to value patience, to trust the process, to believe in the power of small, deliberate steps. I lay down again, letting the sky fill my vision, the stars sparkling like endless reminders of possibility. I thought about challenges I had faced, obstacles that had felt impossible, moments of doubt and hesitation, and I realized all of it had led me here. Step by step, pause by pause, choice by choice. The desert reminded me that clarity comes in stillness, strength comes in persistence, courage comes in showing up, even when the path is uncertain. Every struggle, every effort, every quiet act shapes us, and sometimes the night, the stillness, and the vastness are the perfect teachers. I breathed deeply, slowly, intentionally. Each inhale reminded me of my strength. Each exhale released fear. Each heartbeat grounded me in this moment. The night whispered, "You are capable. You are resilient. You are enough." Hours passed. The stars multiplied. The desert hummed softly with life. I walked among the dunes, feeling the sand shift beneath my feet, feeling the cool night air brush my skin, feeling entirely alive. I noticed patterns in the sand, the subtle way the wind carved ridges and valleys, the quiet rhythm of the desert itself. It was a powerful reminder. Life moves whether we see it or not. Growth happens even in silence. And every effort, every choice, every pause contributes to something bigger than ourselves. The night taught me resilience. It taught me patience. It taught me joy in the present. Each step in the sand became a meditation. Each breath a reminder that we are capable of more than we imagine. Slowly, the first hints of light appeared on the horizon. Soft gold brushed the tips of the dunes. Pale pink and lavender spread across the sky, and the desert seemed to inhale, stretching in the new day. I climbed a small ridge to watch it unfold. Step, pause, breathe. The dunes glowed softly, the shadows softened. The wind carried a new warmth, and I realized that every night, even the darkest moments, brings a dawn of clarity, possibility, and hope. The desert had shown me that growth doesn't happen all at once. It happens gradually, step by step, pause by pause, breath by breath. The night under the stars had reminded me, I am capable. I am resilient. I am present. I am alive. I paused one final time, taking a deep breath, feeling the sand beneath my feet, the wind on my skin, and the sun beginning to warm the horizon. The Sahara had taught me something vital. Slow down, notice, show up, breathe, persist, trust the process. Step, pause, breathe, be present. Every effort matters. Every quiet moment counts. And every night, no matter how vast or intimidating, is full of possibility. The desert doesn't rush. It doesn't demand. It simply exists. And in its patient presence, I discovered something incredible. The power of being fully alive, fully present, fully confident in the journey ahead. And as I walked toward the rising sun, I carried with me the lessons of the night. Patience, clarity, resilience, and endless possibility. The Sahara had whispered one final truth. The power to shine, to grow, to succeed, lives within you.